Hunkering down in isolation, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio warning New Yorkers earlier this morning to prepare for a, quote, shelter-in-place order that he said could come in the next 48 hours. But Governor Andrew Cuomo said New Yorkers could see the number of cases peak in 45 days, but he said he's the only one who has the authority to quarantine a city. A city can't do that for themselves. And he didn't see that happening anytime soon. So there's a battle going on there. New York City Councilman Levin, who has been calling for a New York City shutdown, joins us now. What do you think of the back and forth?
Well, thanks so much for having me. So I think that the data is actually incontrovertible. We have multiple models that are running, and it's all backed up by what we've seen elsewhere around the world. So whether that's China, or whether that's Italy, or whether that's Spain, that we have to shut down and shelter in place right now. We should really be giving New Yorkers, maybe 12 to 24 hours to get their stuff in order. But
can I ask you, did you hear what the governor's response was to that, though? Because what he said was, unless everybody does it, it doesn't help, because everybody's going to get on the road and they're going to go stay with their cousin in Queens because they don't want to shelter in place or whatever it is. So he said, unless we do it in a uniform manner, he's not saying that it's not the right thing to do. It's kind of like with closing the schools. You have to look at what's the problem that's going to bubble up as a result of us doing this. And kind of that was his argument, that we've got to do it together.
Well,
what do you think?
The point with COVID-19 is it increases on an exponential chart. And so every day actually matters in this fight. So we could have done things a week ago that would be totally useless now. We could have done things 5 days ago or 4 days ago that would have been totally useless. That would be totally useless right now, because it increases on that exponential chart. Every interval, it doubles. So just to get a little bit wonky here, what we see basically is the number of cases are going to increase by a factor of 2, roughly, every 4 days. Okay, so if right now, as was just reported, there are 50.
We got the math. It's a math channel. We get you. We're with you. We believe you.
Right. So let's look at the math. We're talking in 3 weeks, there's likely to be close to 1 million cases in the United States.
But what do you do about the fact that if you don't do it everywhere, it won't work? I mean, would you want the president to tell the whole country to shelter in place, or should it be the whole state?
It should go state by state. I mean, I think that in the case of something like New York, you have urban centers. It's probably more impactful. To shelter in place. If you're in a rural environment, you kind of naturally don't have a ton of personal interaction. I just went out to try to fill a prescription right before coming on the show here. I went on Kent Avenue in Brooklyn. I live in Williamsburg. It did not look like an unusual Tuesday afternoon.
Really?
That's right.
Because Manhattan, you could shoot a cannon down the center of the street. I mean, in Manhattan, people are inside and they are sheltering in place. So there are very, very few people out. And I wonder, I mean, do you have the same rules right now about the restaurants and all the stores here are closed? And look, we're showing it. Thank you so much for that shot. We're showing everybody 6th Avenue right now. And at this time of day, this is rush hour. You would see those sidewalks would be jam-packed. The street would be full. In New York, people are really, in Manhattan at least, they're inside. So that's not what's happening in Brooklyn.
That's not what's happening in Brooklyn. That's not what's happening throughout the city. So there was data that just was put out by a publication called The City in New York that showed the reduction in MTA turnstile swipes around the city. And you're right, in Manhattan, there was between 2 Fridays ago and last Friday, there was a 63% reduction in most of the kind of wealthier parts of New York City. So Manhattan, and then you're looking at the district I represent, which is in Brooklyn, Brooklyn Heights, along the L train into Williamsburg and stuff like that. But if you look at the data around outer boroughs, so you're looking at the Bronx, Queens, South Brooklyn, you see that the reduction was only about 17%. Now, what that says, that doesn't factor in yesterday and today when there was more of a lockdown and stringent measures in place. But what that says is that people that can afford and are able to work from home, they'll work from home. Companies are able to do that. But those people that can't, unless you have a full shutdown, they're not going to do it.
I hear you. The only thing is that you just said that data was from yesterday, and 6th Avenue didn't look like that yesterday. It was.
Right,
It's been since last night when everything got shut down at 8 o'clock. I don't reject your premise at all. Go ahead.
One thing to mention here is that so the impact on the hospital system is actually a lagging indicator because it's an indicator of what your infection rate was about 7 days prior. So basically, the real message is this: if we don't stop the transmission of the virus in New York City by the 23rd of March, 6 days away, then by the first week in April, we will see our hospital system be overrun. And
100%. You're absolutely right.
And when it gets overrun, it's going to get overrun in an exponential fashion. So it's going to be a flood. It's not going to be a trickle, and it's going to impact communities.
Governor Cuomo said that repeatedly today. You are 100% right. Everybody's in agreement on that. We have to get it together. Councilman Levin.
We can't be a day late and a dollar short here.
I understand.
We should have done this days ago. We have to do it right now.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for coming on. I hope you come back soon, Connell.